Hello, and welcome to another Ring Rouge unit of the week. And today we're taking a look at the Staghound AA, available to a multitude of British equipment divisions. So in 1941, the US Army was looking for a medium armoured car. It had to be 6 rails, all-wheel drive, pretty simple stuff. Eventually, it had come up with the T-17E1, which pretty much filled the requirements of a small 37mm gun on top. But by the time they got everything ready, they didn't decide to actually use it. They preferred the lighter, smaller MA Greyhound to fill in the same role as an armoured car. Right, a medium and light armoured car, and they're both relatively light, we could just use the MA Greyhound. It makes a bit more sense just operationally. So they just did the R&D and all this development for a vehicle that was never going to be used in US military service. But the British were looking at this design the entire time and went, hey, this is pretty cool. We're finding North Africa is, smaller light armoured cars really our playstyle. We would like some of these. And so the British would really be the main users of these T-17s. They would redub them as the Staghound. They wouldn't see service in North Africa. They'd see some service in Italy, and of course during the Western Front during the whole Normandy and invasion of Germany campaign. Now, there were quite a few modifications to these Staghounds. The major one, of course, that we're going to be talking about today is the Staghound AA. Is when they removed the turret and put in two 50 cals and a smaller turret on top, and used it as a close-range anti-aircraft piece to ward off enemy fighters and bombers, etc. By 1944, of course, there wasn't really much of Luftwaffe to shoot at, and so they would be mainly delegated to ground support. In-game, the Staghound AA is a 50-point anti-aircraft piece available to the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division, 6th Airborne Division, and the Commando Brigade, and it has 2 sets of weapons. So, you got 2 50 caliber machine guns that it only really says run in the card. I don't really get right. Anyway, it's 4 accuracy, a rate of 505 rounds a minute, 8 HE with 1,600 rounds, and 800 meter range. It's 2 50 caliber machine guns. They do 50 caliber machine gun things. They shoot at stuff and stuff usually dies. Yeah, pretty decent in the anti-aircraft role. Not the best, of course, but not terrible either, and they are pretty good at killing soft targets, as well as some very lightly armoured vehicles, so it does take quite a while. You also have one hull-mounted 7.62mm machine gun, which adds quite a bit to when you're dealing with infantry targets at a closer range. Pop down to the miscellaneous stat. It's got 3 frontal armour, 2 at side and 2 at back, and it is an open-top vehicle. Bad stealth, a speed of 33 km off-road and 93 km on the road, and low optics capability. In battle, the Staghound AA is a nice little anti-aircraft piece. I'm gonna say off the bat, it's only really worthwhile to get in the 3rd Canadian Division. Because for Commando Brigades, you're probably much better getting Bofors, as you really need some more practical anti-aircraft pieces, and for 6th Airborne, I personally just stick with using Postons, but also you probably want to get something a bit bigger, like the Tri-Postons, and you also have all those bloody Tempests to use at your disposal. Because for the 3rd Canadians, you don't really use the Staghound AA as an AA piece, and I've definitely seen a lot of people not using it as an AA piece, because it's also a 50-point, pretty decent infantry fire support vehicle. For 50 points, it's pretty well reasonably priced. It has a decent amount of armor. It's not bad for an early game frontline unit. Just to give your infantry, or rather crappy rifles, some much needed machine gun fire support. And also they have the added benefit of being somewhat decent at shooting down aircraft. You're not really going to shoot down aircraft, but if an aeroplane does fly directly over your position, you can do some rather surprising damage. You're not going to be stopping bombs from hitting you with Staghound AA, but you may be able to tickle them just enough so they throw out to aim just a bit. There's also the rather infamous Staghound AA rush, where you just get some Staghound AA and you try to push rather hard through one sector. It doesn't really work out well, because even though the Staghound AA can kill, some light armor, you really want something a bit more heavily armed with actual AT values to do those pushes to knock out any half-tracks or light tanks that the Germans may have when you do it. It's a very fun unit to use. It's very good for 3rd Canadians as well, because you've also got the 1-star veterancy on them, as they're a nice cheap mix between fire support, which you need, and AA, which you also need. You know, don't rely on them as your major anti-aircraft piece. You're gonna need something, you know, gonna need airplanes in the sky, and probably something a bit more dedicated like those tripostons to actually do much anti-aircraft damage. And I'm going to leave it off at, yeah, this has been another Rangaroo's Unit of Reek. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.